Well, ladies and gentlemen, today is the last day in which Vince McMahon will have the independent majority control over the WWE. Now, keep in mind, he's actually had control over the last 40 years. We're going to be talking about that in today's video. I'm going to give you the details, essentially. Number one, what did I just say and what does it mean? I'll tell you what it means. Endeavor and WWE are going to create a new company known as the TKO Group Holdings, and it is expected to close on September 12th, meaning that new company will begin public trading on said day as well. That is the new company now. So it is going to be TKO, and then under that, you will have Endeavor, WWE, UFC, and whatever the hell else they choose to buy down the line. It also means that a couple of months ago, when Endeavor purchased WWE, that person or company purchased 51% of WWE. In layman's terms, they get final say on the end-all be-all of the company now moving forward technically. However, CEO Ari Emanuel of Endeavor, who is now the owner of basically everything, named Vincent Kennedy McMahon as the executive chairman of the board. Now, the executive chairman of the board has a plethora of things that the person has to do. But one of those main things is keeping in mind what their shareholders, stakeholders would want them to do. And essentially, it is Vince McMahon's job to often meet up with them annually or however many times it is required by law, keep them up to date on things, acquire maybe potential assets that could be utilized by Endeavor. He has way too many things that he's got to do in his job to fit into this one video, but understand that his sole purpose is basically more or less what he was doing prior to his departure, you know, from the whole scandals thing when he was forced to retire and all that stuff. Anyway, so the same thing he was doing there. He'll still be chairman of the board. He'll still have a good voice on the board of directors. And he'll still be appointed in doing all those things and still overseeing the company as he sees fit. Dana White is going to continue being the president of UFC. Nick Khan will continue being the president of the WWE. And the board of directors will consist of 11 members, 5 of which will be appointed by WWE and the other 6 by Endeavor. Now, in those 5, there is some details about that with Vince. Essentially, he's going to get 5 out of the 11 board seats, and he's also going to get veto rights, which is very interesting. So basically, as I literally just said, nothing really is going to change. Now, the argument that I hear, you know, and people even asking Ari and Vince was, well, okay, so what is the downside to this? Vince himself has stated that there really isn't a downside. He said that he went into everything thinking about it very strategically. He also stated in the interview that it was actually Ari Emanuel's idea to make him the executive chairman of the board, and that he wanted Vince to continue running the company because in Ari's mind, he believes that Vince McMahon is the sole person to run the company to its fullest potential. Vince McMahon also went on to say that he felt as though it was the right time to sell to Endeavor due to the fact that it was the right moment. He also stated that if he had waited and not sold it to Endeavor, he would be where he is now in 10 years company-wise. He also sold it, keep in mind, at $9.3 billion, which he initially wanted to try and acquire $9 billion for the company anyway. So he got his money's worth. But like I stated, Endeavor paid a premium to own 51% of the market share. And like I said before, Triple H will still remain as the head of creative. Technically, Vince could still come in, make minor changes, or overall change everything. But most of the time, Triple H will be the head of creative. Nick Khan will still remain as president, like I said. And you'll have Vince in charge of, you know, being chairman of the board, executive chairman of the board. Now let's talk about those TV deals, shall we? Number 1, the deal with Peacock. So this deal was in the amount of like close to $1 billion, if not more. That's what I read on Google there. I also went to the actual website and noted that the deal with NBC Universal's Peacock and WWE will expire in 2026. And then on the UFC side of things, UFC's media deal with ESPN, which includes giving ESPN Plus the exclusive rights to all UFC pay-per-views, will expire in 2025. Now, that's actually very interesting because in 2024, the great battle of 2024, right, MJF? No. So in 2024, the TV deals that WWE currently has also expire. And now that they're on a whole new company known as the TKO Stock Holdings Company, the company is valued at $21 billion. So even though WWE is still its own separate subsidiary, it falls under that umbrella. So it technically, when they are negotiating TV rights deals now, Vince was smart to sell it prior to the expiration because now he can ask for more money because he's part of a larger company, a larger global conglomerate, which means everybody makes more money. Now, what exactly does that mean for us? Not really much. They're currently doing a hiring freeze, but at least Triple H was able to bring back the people he wanted prior to that. As you guys may not know or have not known, at the time of recording this video on September 11th, LA Knight is still negotiating his contract as well. Per Sean Ross of Fightful, it is reported that they are on two separate sides of the spectrum as far as their contract negotiations. But if there's anybody who can lock down LA Knight, it would probably be WWE, since they technically have money to blow. And they are, if you guys did not know as well, because Endeavor has now acquired WWE and all these new corporate positions are already technically being handled by Endeavor for the most part, a lot of the people on the corporate side of WWE are going to get laid off, unfortunately. So they're going to have a lot of money to play around with here, especially when they acquire the TV rights deals in 2024. Now, it's actually being reported, and you guys have probably heard rumors about this in the past, but Disney was reportedly a top candidate for not only buying WWE, but landing the WWE TV rights deal, which this report was posted by Forbes on June 13th of 2023. And honestly, Disney has the money to blow. I mean, let's be real. In 2022, WWE achieved a record revenue of $1.3 billion, largely to the current TV rights deals, which the company gets $200 million per year for just SmackDown alone, which is kind of insane. Now, based upon Nick Khan's expectations, WWE expect TV rights for SmackDown to go up to $300 million annually. And the deals total are worth $2.35 billion in total, which is pretty insane when you look at it, because they signed 5-year deals with Fox and USA Network. Now, the reason why I said that the Disney being in the hat mix here is interesting is because they already have the WWE Network, I guess, if you want to call it that, or whatever streaming you want to call it, right? In the Philippines, they are currently with Disney Plus anyway. So WWE is streaming on the Disney Plus in the Philippines. So it would only make sense if WWE is, given to Disney. But I know a lot of people are going to be like, no, it's going to be too PG, blah, 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 blah. Here's the thing. If Nick Khan negotiates correctly, which is literally his job, to negotiate the best TV rights deal possible while not sacrificing the integrity of the company, which is where Vince would come in, I think Disney acquiring WWE would be great. Especially if they wait and they do these TV deals now in 2024, and then when the Peacock deal expires, we transition over to Disney Plus. If we don't go back to the WWE Network, which I want the WWE Network, right? But again, we have to be real about this situation, right? We got to understand that money is the language, the universal language of the world. WWE could potentially sell their TV rights to Disney and also sell their premium live event rights to Disney as well, which would be kind of insane. So the exclusivity on that side of things would be pretty gnarly. They'd have to cash out some real big funds. They'd have to pull out the big wallet, okay? Which again would just be in the benefit of all parties involved on the TKO stock holdings Endeavor side of things. But I think that's it. I think I covered everything. We don't actually know who the board members are yet. There are like rumors online, but there hasn't been an official selection. So once that happens, I guess I'll make another video if you guys really care about that. Most people don't care about the members of the board. They only care about who's going to be in specific positions, which I outlined in this video. So again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you guys are new around here, consider hitting that subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 69 subscribers by the end of yesterday. Peace.